Hey there, YouTube friends. How's your week going? I'm coming to you today on a beautiful hump day, as you can tell, here in lower Alabama. Just such a pretty day. Thought I would get outside for a change and do the video, so there may be some strange sounds. You never know. It's about 62 or 63 today. Blue sky, so can't complain. But anyhow, as you could see from the title, this is one just going to share like some of the cooked food that I include on my mostly raw vegan diet. Now this is the time you raw is law believers, people of the true blood, you might want to tap out at this point, because I know that always makes you a little bit quirky when we start talking about anything cooked. But hey, a few people had asked me on Instagram, and every time I'll mention anything cooked, people that are new, or people I guess that have not watched more than about one video of mine, will be all surprised, like, I thought you were raw, and I'm like, no, watch my videos. I've never since the very beginning of this channel actually even expressed any interest in being 100% raw, because like I say, this has always been a health journey for me. I have methodically worked my way down the road, taken in information, and I always do what's right for me. I don't eat for a brand. I don't eat to be part of the cool kids club. I just do Jack, and I do what I put things into my body that I think are going to make me as healthy as possible. But when people ask me about that, I think people have assumptions as soon as I say that, because I'm kind of a little bit different than most folks, and so I do understand it. Most people, once they dabble a little bit with raw, and then they'll eat some cooked, or they always include cooked, and the cooked becomes more and more and more and more, and they become less discerning in what they eat when they're cooked. And that's not for me to judge. I don't care. I should state categorically that I really don't care what you eat out there. That's your decision. The only thing I do is just share my journey. You can look at it, decide if I've got anything that's useful to you or not. But I generally keep it pretty tight with the cooked food I eat. I'm not a fanatic. When I go to Pensacola, Florida, which is less and less these days, the last 8 months or so, I go about once every 6 weeks, once every 2 months, and sometimes I'll eat some restaurant food there. But day to day, there's really only, say, 3 or 4 things that I'm including, and I don't include them all the time, and I don't include that much of it. One is potatoes, and more specifically, and I do eat different varieties, but the number one variety that I include and that I eat way more than anything else is sweet potatoes. Good old sweet potatoes. A lot of people like to think of them as a superfood. A lot of the sweet potato families as a superfood. A lot of the reason I do it, like I say, the cooked food that I eat, there's a couple of reasons. The cooked food I eat, I just never was able to keep my weight up on this diet, and I never was able to gain back some of the weight that I shouldn't have lost in the first place. So especially since I've been back in the States, the majority of the time when I'm saying I eat some cooked food or I include some cooked food, it will be a potato, a potato or two, sweet potatoes most of the time, on top of a salad. Adds a little bulk to it, adds some more calories to it. It's an easy way to just to get some filler calories in, but I don't want to just simply put empty calories into my body. So I'm like, what better than sweet potatoes? They're full of vitamins, minerals, good stuff for you, and like I say, some even think they might be a superfood. They add some extra calories, and the one thing, and the reason that I say sweet potatoes in particular, and the reason that sweet potatoes are probably the number one and by far the majority of the cooked food that I eat, is I find that sweet potatoes digest as close to raw food as anything I've found. I mean, they just like I really don't notice any difference whatsoever. I don't have a slowdown. I know people want to talk about how it makes them sluggish, and maybe it does make some people sluggish, but I eat my sweet potatoes. They give me bulk. They help me keep weight on, and I'm about 165 now. I'd like to get it around 170, but yeah, they just help me do that. The second one that I eat legumes. Legumes, I think, are something that are beneficial to our overall health. They're beneficial. Everybody that talks about the gut microbiome. I'm never sure if I'm saying that right. Well, these planes are hell today. I don't know if they're looking for dope or what. They're just circling, but legumes. Now, as most people know, also that have watched my videos, maybe more than a few, is that I'm a big proponent of sprouting. I'm always sprouting. I sprout lentils constantly. I just pulled a full batch last night, and I usually give it a day, and then I'll start a new batch. I'm trying to kind of get my rhythm down. Although I've been doing this for over a year, I'm still not real good at just like doing it seamlessly. Like, I don't like my sprouts to sit in the refrigerator for a long time, but then I always wait a little too long before I start a new batch, and there's usually a few days, 2 days, 3 days that I don't have sprouts. So I'm trying to get better at that. But the legumes are great for us. Get them one way or the other. If you don't eat any cooked food, if you are somebody that is 100% raw, or you're adamant about being fully raw, get some lentils and sprout them. I just simply buy, every time I mention sprouting, it's not rocket science. It's so simple. In fact, like, probably until I really got it down, I bet you 10 or 15 times, every time I started to sprout, I would Google sprouting lentils, and but I do it real simple, a mason jar with a sprouting lid. And they're super easy. I buy a 5-pound bag of organic ones on Amazon, and they will last me over a year. And there's probably, I think I looked not too long ago, it's about $30 for that 5-pound bag. And that will last over a year. And that's with me eating sprouts, not every day, but almost every day. And probably even if I did it every day, because it lasted me about a year and 3 months, yeah, it would definitely, I could eat them every day a year for $25. So that is some cheap nutrition to get into your body. And I recommend other sprouts as well. We're just talking about the legumes today. But I also don't have a problem. A couple of times a week, I'll generally cook some beans. I cook black beans. I like red beans. I'll cook some lentils sometime. Hey, I'm here in the South, good old Southern boy with those sweet potatoes. I'll have black-eyed peas. I'll have purple hull peas. I'll have Crowder peas. We got all kind of peas here. There's more peas than you can shake a stick at here in the South. And lima beans. But like I say, the legumes, good nutrition in those legumes. What else? The rest is just sometimes filler sometime as well. I do eat greens cooked sometime because, back again to the South, I love some collard greens. I love to make up a big old pot of collard greens and use some hot pepper sauce. We use clear hot pepper sauce. You get these little hot peppers, put them in a bottle, and then pour some vinegar on top of that. Now what I do is I'll buy a bottle of that stuff in the store, and usually when it runs out the first time, I'll just refill it with apple cider vinegar. But yeah, I like to eat collard greens quite often, and every once in a while I'll get the taste for steamed spinach. Haven't had any steamed spinach in a while, but I like that. So that's mostly it right there. And like I say, I very seldom, now while I was having issues with my teeth are getting better. I thought I had a problem with another tooth, but maybe it was just settling from being filled. I was eating more during that time because it was hard. Like, I didn't want stuff to get into these 2 teeth I had pulled and then other stuff, so I was eating soft stuff, and I didn't want a bunch of loose stuff getting into the holes and the sockets. So sometimes I would eat a fully cooked meal in the evening or whatever, just like of some cooked greens, sweet potato, and some peas with that. But now that's over. God, before we know it, the spring will be rolling around again, and that means lots of big salads. I'm looking forward to lots of big salads now that my teeth are better, and hope they stay like that. Maybe one more little round of stuff I have to do, but it's all about the big salads. But like I say, make the decisions for yourself. But if you eat cooked food, don't make it this big flip-flop back and forth, and don't make it to be such this thing that, like, you make it so taboo and you make it such a big thing you can't do, that if you finally do it, you just start eating garbage. Or if you are including cooked food into your mostly raw food like me, or whatever, or just whatever you're eating, always make the best choices. Make clean choices. Make healthy choices. Get as much nutrition in every bite, in every calorie as you can. But like I said, that's just more of a clarification video for people that watch me and are always confused, like, oh, I thought you said you were raw. And like I've said before, kind of being a smart ass like I'm known to be, I'm not going to tell on every video. In other words, instead of saying a raw vegan diet, I'm not going to say 93.6 raw vegan diet or 94.7 or 92.6. Mostly raw vegan diet. Lots and lots of fruit, lots of greens, lots of sprouts, lots of vegetables, purple cabbage, broccoli, everything. Get as many colors as you can. But that's just how I do it. That's probably how I'm going to keep doing it. And yeah. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll pop by one more time here at the end of the week. Peace.